Okay, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead it off here today for us at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, race number 2 in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. It'll be the 16th annual Sylvania 300, and Dale drives the number 88 Dot Mountain Dew National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. He's currently 7th in points coming out of that first chase race, Dale, and I know you said afterwards you got an 8th place finish, but you certainly want more. Just talk about your outlook as you come up here to New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's a little bit, disappointed in finishing 8th last week, and we do feel like that we're going to need a little bit more than that to win the championship. And it's a track that I feel like owes me one. We've been running here for a long time. We've had some good cars here, and we've had some cars capable of winning races and just haven't been able to finish the job. And so I kind of feel like that it's got to happen sooner or later, and I feel like that it needs to happen now. So there's a bit of urgency, but not a whole lot. Just enough to to keep us motivated and real positive. I feel pretty positive. I mean, it's a good racetrack. When we came here, I was without my main engineer who was having a child that weekend, so I felt like we joke about it, but you just, even though he was at home and trying to participate, it's just not it's just not the ideal situation, and so that was something totally unavoidable. And we were happy, for his situation at the time. But we got him here this weekend, and so I'm really ready to just kind of attack and go work on the car in practice and try to find a great balance. We had a real good car when we tested here, and quite many months ago. But still, I know what the possibilities and the chances of us having a good run and winning a race here are, and I feel like we're really close, and hopefully we can hit on a few things in practice, really get the car moving.
Okay, we'll take some questions now for Dale. Let's go with Reed first, then we'll go with Lee. Right here, Lewis, and then we'll come over here.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Ref Service. Dale, is it a reflection of how far you've come this year that you can finish 8th and be disappointed?
Yeah, I think so. We just know how well we've run at the 1.5 miles, and I do enjoy Chicago, really enjoy the racetrack, and thought we had a good car in practice. And we had a great car when the race started, and we just ran into a lot of issues, got caught a lap down on a caution, pitting early, and lost a couple spots on pit road and in another situation, and just really the track position for us didn't ever really materialize at any point in the race, give us a good shot at really getting the kind of finish the car was capable of getting.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Can you compartmentalize what's going on with the day-to-day at JRM and what you need to do these final 9 races? Because, obviously you have a good staff put in place there, and you have somebody you trust in your sister, but still the emotional ties that you have with the Uris has to weigh somewhat on you.
It doesn't really weigh on me when I go to work. It's something I can easily put aside when I'm at the racetrack on this weekend or any given weekend. It has been difficult to see these changes, and it was not easy at all to sever the working relationship with Pops nor Tony Jr. But we're a company that wants to improve over what we've been doing, and we're making some changes to see if we can make that happen. I do like to have heavy involvement in the company, and my I do have general concerns about the company even when things are going good, and I like to be plugged in to what's going on and the direction we're going. And it's just at the same time like our Whiskey River businesses basically run themselves with the people we have in charge. The production company doesn't require a lot of my attention. It runs itself with the people we have in place. We make changes in both of those situations from time to time to improve. And the nationwide program kind of needs to do the same thing. For me to be able to focus on my main priority, which is driving the Cup cars, it needs to be fluid and work, as flawless as possible. So, I won't, just as I said about making heavy personal investments in it financially is something I never want to do. I'm not in a position in my life to invest in it, invest my focus in it, with everything else I got going on and driving race cars being the priority. And I won't never do that. I won't overload myself or take away, especially with the opportunity I got right now to win the chase, win the championship. Won't let anything take away from that.
Let's go Bob, Marty, and then Nate. Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. After the race last week, Denny Hamlin tweeted, "This is week 1 of 10. We will win next week." Would you ever go out there and put yourself out there and say, "We're going to win a week before a race," and do you consider that too bold, or is that just normal?
I don't think it's too bold because of how he competed here at the race before. I think he had an outstanding race car. Should have won the race had they made a little different strategy at the end. And so I feel like he has. I can understand the confidence from that statement because of how he ran. So it doesn't surprise me.
Let's go Marty, Nate, and David Caravello. Go ahead, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Everybody's talked about how strong this field is top to bottom. When you have a setback, what type of setback is it that Jeff Gordon is facing now, given what happened to him last weekend, and what kind of hill he has to climb now? How would you gauge his opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. I know you'd rather be in a different situation, but it's not insurmountable. It's not something that they can't overcome, and it could easily happen to everybody else in the field at some point in time during the chase. And maybe it will. You just have to keep going and running as hard as you can and trying in case the opportunity presents itself. I think that, they're probably not panicked, and they probably know that it's a steep mountain, but they're probably confident in what they can do and confident that they can overcome it.
Let's go with Nate, David Caravello, and this gentleman right here in the front row. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Dale, going back to the JRM changes, the Tony Eury Sr. release made it pretty clear how that broke apart, but was there a chance that Tony Eury Jr. could have left, did he leave of his own volition, or was it you guys just mutually decided that? And how are things looking next year for sponsorship in terms of, I know Danica's probably going to take the GoDaddy thing to Cup, and are you still planning to run 2 full-time cars and everything?
Yeah, we're, the Tony Jr. deal was mutual. He and me and Kelly both sat down and talked about it, and ended with us deciding not to move forward as a group, the environment I want to run 2 cars next year. I want to run 2 full-time cars competing for the championship with both, and I would like to run 3 to 5 races on my own in a 3rd car whenever we do that, whatever that is. That's our plan. That's what we'd like to do, and that's what we're that's what's in our proposals that we're taking to people at this time. We don't have agreements to run, financially to run those cars yet, but we are in the process of putting those together and talking to people who have interest.
Let's go David Caravello, gentleman here on the front row, and then his neighbor right there.
David Caravello, NASCAR.com. Dale, 2 quick ones. First of all, to follow up on Nate. So the situation with Tony Jr. didn't come inevitable after the situation with Pops. I mean, you can't draw a line between one to the other, correct?
Meaning that
after the Pops thing happened, the Tony Jr. thing was inevitable? I mean,
no, not really. I thought that Tony Jr. and I thought Tony Jr. and us were going to kind of move forward past the decision with Pops, and we would, I wanted Tony Jr. to stick around, and I think he, part of him wanted to too. I mean, it was a real tough decision, and it was one that wasn't easy to come by, but it is what it is, and for us to get better, we've got to maximize our relationship with Hendrick. Those resources are there to our fingertips, and the companies we compete against have those resources. The companies we want to beat and are running up front in the series have those kind of resources, and we needed to improve on that, and that was becoming more clearer and clearer as we ran the last couple of years, that we needed to improve that relationship, and that's really what why we decided to make the move of Ryan, because there's a great relationship between Ryan and my crew chief and Hendrick as well. They have a lot of trust in Ryan and belief in Ryan, and I felt like that he could come in there and bridge that gap a little bit, and but that ultimately led to us having a conversation with Tony Jr. and him not quite agreeing with that direction, and us deciding to go in different ways.
And secondly, does this place owe you something from any race in particular? Is there one that got away from you, or just a general?
No, not really. I've just had some good cars here, and I really like running here. And I've felt like, this is the kind, you go to certain tracks in like Bristol and Atlanta that you're like, man, I want to win here. This is a track I enjoy racing on. You really have fun racing on the track. I really love running here. It's so much fun to race here, and it's so challenging to pass, and just how the car kind of has to roll the center, and you work so hard trying to get that to happen all day. And it's just a fun place to race. I kind of enjoy short track racing, and the corners and the speeds here kind of lend itself to that style. And it's just kind of a little bit frustrating that I haven't won here, because I feel like that this is a track I should be capable of doing that.
Let's get these two gentlemen right here.
Hi, Ray Duckler from the Concord Monitor. You spoke about focus before and not burdening yourself too much, especially this year when you're close to winning a championship. The Sports Illustrated story that came out recently seemed to address that, changes in you, personal life, maturity, more hands-on things, not just running to your hauler and having a taco or whatever it said. Can you just, that was pretty, that portrayed you, I'm guessing, pretty well, and can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I had some conversations with Lars, and when that was, I would say that, if I had known then what I know now, I think, that I could have put forth a better accountability and a better account of myself overall as a competitor, and just, but, at the time you don't realize what kind of opportunity you got and what kind of, you don't, and, there's a lot of trappings and, things that are, things that you want to do that don't involve racing, and just go have fun, so you goof off a lot. But, I don't know. I can't really sit here and just have regrets about, opportunities and chances going by, but, and I do find it a bit unfortunate that it took me this long to realize, how much, how much more work I could have been doing, and how much more I could have invested in the overall, schedule of events and just what you do on a weekend. But, it's, we had a lot of fun back then, and we didn't have as much success as we probably should have. And those were the reasons I felt like that was the case. And now, I enjoy working harder. It's not like it's a burden. I enjoy the relationship I got with my crew chief and my team, and enjoy how things are going. And I see a big contrast in, that now and the way things used to be. And I was just kind of kind of making talking about the differences in those contrasts, and it's just, I guess we all get a little smarter, get a little older. That's all that's really happened.
We can take 3 quick ones right here. This gentleman here, and we'll end with Lewis.
Dale, the Sports Illustrated piece talked about how you've been working out more this year. How has being in better shape helped your performance on the track?
Well, I don't know if I'm in much better shape. I've been trying to get in better shape, but it's not easy. I don't think I'm in bad shape, but it's just real hard to, it takes more work than I'm accustomed to doing when on that front, just on that front in general. I'll be honest with you. But I think I've been that in combination with eating better, and I'm always learning how to improve my diet, and I'm curious and ask questions about that to people and change what I hear I need to change or what I think I need to change. And I think that accompanied with a couple other things really improves endurance and improves your overall well-being, how you feel in the car, how you deal mentally when you're in when you're kind of physically taxed. When you get tired physically, you can get lazy mentally. And so I think that just being in a little bit better shape, being in a little bit better conditioning has helped me quite a bit, because some of those races are really tough. The Sonoma race, the races at Bristol, those are really tough races. And I think I need to get tougher to be able to, be able to do what I need to do out there.
I'm told he needs to get ready for practice, so we can only
All right.
take one more question. Right here.
Dale, Matt Wernes, WWLP.com. What did you learn from this test in May? I know you said it was a good test, but what did you learn about the tire heading into the July race and for this race this weekend?
I didn't really learn anything about the tire in particular. We just had such great speed over the people that were here. I think, there were some decent cars that were here to compete in the test, and our speeds were really, really good, and I was real happy with the way the car turned in the middle and some of the things that I know is going to be important in the race. I was real pleased with what the car was doing. So that just had me really excited, and then turned out, and I was anticipating coming here and, being dominant and being one of the, guys up front. We ended up finishing well, but we just kind of struggled all weekend, and I really was missing the involvement of the head engineer, Kevin, and wishing he was here. And, I'm glad that, it may not have made a difference, him not being here, but, you need guys. I feel like I depend on guys being there. You just depend on them being there, and you want them to be there. And so, he was at the shop on the laptop and on the microphone and understanding what was going on through practices and helping us with ideas and stuff, but it's so much better when you're here in person to understand what's going on. So I know he's glad to get our opportunity maybe this weekend to try to win the race.
Dale, thanks for coming in, and good luck
Thanks.
today. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.